Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Rich for WELSHYTECH, and today we are taking a look at the Thermalright Peerless Assassin 120 Vision MAX ARGB. Should you buy this cooler? Well, let's find out, shall we? Okay, so what you're actually going to see here now is what actually comes in the box, because it comes with both fans, it comes with the cooler. Obviously it does come with that screen. It also comes with the clips to attach the fans. It comes with all the mounting brackets you need for AMD as well as Intel, and also does come with thermal piston. It does come with a fan splitter as well. But now when it comes to the actual specs of this cooler, now it does have 6 heat pipes. They are 6mm. The base plate obviously is copper nickel plated. The actual rated speeds of the fans is 2150 RPM. They say noise decibel rating of 27, and the airflow is 69 CFM, nice, with an air pressure of 2.87mm H2O. Now for the screen, it is a 5-inch display. The resolution is a 480 by 8540, which is quite weird, but obviously it's an display. It doesn't say anything about like the rated color or anything like that, but obviously it does use a USB 2.0 port. Now, if you want to actually hear what the fans sound like, well, this is where it's going to show up in the video, because they aren't the loudest, but they aren't quiet either. Okay, so when it comes to the actual test systems, my AM5 platform, so Ryzen 9 7900, it does have an X870A Wi-Fi motherboard from Sapphire. It does have a Gen 5 2TB from Kingston, a Gen 4 2TB from Samsung, RX 7800 XT. It does have a 1200 watt Enermax Platinum power supply housed in the B-Quad Shadowbase 800FX. Now, I've done the same run of benchmarks I've done for every AIO as well as CPU coolers. Now, when it comes to the actual thermals, now for 50%, the Cinebench are 23, the idles are 33 with a max of 86. Blender Pavilion, idles are 33 with a max of 84. Blender Classroom, idles 33 with a max of 83. And 3D Mark CPU Test, the idles are 33 with a max of 76. Now, for the CPU power draw, the high was 162 watts with a low at 155. CPU clocks are high at 5.4 and low at 5 GHz. Now, the 100%, the idles for Cinebench are 23 were 1 degree higher at 34 with a max of 84. Blender Pavilion, idles 34 with a max of 84. Blender Classroom, idles 34 with a max of 83. And 3D Mark CPU Test, the idles were 34 with a max of 74 Celsius. CPU power draw was also high at 165 with a lower 159. The CPU clocks are high at 5.4 and low at 5.1 GHz. Now, what I'm going to put by here is a graph showing you how this performs against the Frost Tower. Any other CPU cooler I have done, primarily the last year or so, I'm going to put in how this performs against other air coolers on the market. So make sure you continue to watch, because this is where the graph is going to show you which particular cooler is the best. Okay, so the installation is rather straightforward. What you do is you get 4 standoffs. Now these are compatible with AM4, AM5. So place them down like that. That's it for that. Then you got the brackets. Now these only go one way for AM4 as well as AM5. Actually, these only go one way. So what you want to do is put them like this. This is how I suggest you just do it, like this. Place them down like that. Screw them in a little, and then you repeat the process on both sides. That is it. Now, don't over tighten, because you will damage something. Now let's move on to thermal paste. Okay, so when it comes to thermal paste, this is the official thermal paste I use for all my AIOs and CPU coolers, unless of course they come with pre-applied thermal paste. But this is the Duranoff from Thermal Grizzly, and if you want to get some, the link for this will be in the description. Okay, so now what I want you to do is grab the cooler. Okay, so go like this, place it down until it catches on both sides, preferably a long one. Do one side first, like that, and what you do is you bottom out the screws until they fully bottom out. Don't over tighten, because you will break something. And if you want to buy one of these LTT screwdrivers, the link for that will be in the description as well. Now what you want to do is put the clips on the fans like this. Now you want to start with the middle fan, because trust me, you will not get the middle fan in first. So place it like that, make sure it pops in like that, cables outwards like this. Now just put it there and clip it on, make sure it's done, and then we'll move on to the second fan. Exactly same process for the second fan, just like this, like that. There we go. Now nice and tugged, or nice and snug. Now as for the screen, it is magnetic, so what you want to do is place it down just like that. Now as you can see but there, that is the CPU fan header. Now this does come with a daisy chain or a extension for the fans. What I want you to do is plug in both of these just like this. That, do it both sides, just like that. Do both sides, just like this. This part here, and plug that into the CPU header, just like that. And that is it for the CPU header. Okay, so this is an ARGB header. Now these fans do come with a daisy chain. All you do is pop off the cap, and then you can daisy chain both together. So what I want you to do is daisy chain both sides. Now they do come with daisy chain for all sides. Even the screen comes with daisy chain. So what I want to do is daisy chain all three together, and then put this in here, just like that. And that's it for the ARGB. Okay, so for the screen, now the screen is a little bit different because this is going to be a different connection altogether. It's actually one of these. It's called a USB 2 connector, as you can see there, and that one there is an USB 2 header. That is what you want to connect this to up to, and this is for the screen. As for the installation, that's pretty much it. Okay, so first of all, I'll give you my first impressions. Now, I do like the screen on this. This screen is very, when it comes to the colours and so forth, it's very, very bright, as well as the colours are very vibrant. The overall fans, they do look really nice. The RGB glow off this fan on the screen on the side is a nice touch. I think that looks fantastic. The fans, they are really, really nice as well. They are one of Thermalright's like high static pressure fans, and I was expecting these to be loud, but considering that I've actually listened to or had way louder fans from Thermalright, these are actually okay for the noise. They aren't the loudest I've ever heard, so I'm really surprised there. Obviously, mounting when it comes to CPU coolers, Thermalright has one of the best mounting systems, except for Noctua, of course. This supports so many different types of sockets. It's just quite unbelievable. The fans obviously are nice. I like the RGB. The one nitpick I'd say is the amount of cables you've got to deal with, because yeah, it's a bit of a faff to actually sort all that out as well. Now, the software support to this, obviously, if you guys are a fan of the channel and you've actually watched my previous videos on Thermalright, you'll know where my opinion on the software matters. I like the software. The customizable part of it is what I really like about the software. You can customize pretty much everything about the software, as well as on the screen. You can put your motherboard temps on there, you can put frequency, all that type of stuff, voltages. You can customize pretty much everything when it comes to the software. The onboard themes, obviously there is a bit of a delay for some reason. You know, even when you download them, loading them, there's still a few seconds of a delay. Usually I wouldn't want that. I personally want it a lot quicker, but that's just one of them things. I've said this in the previous Thermalright videos. The software is very good, but obviously there are bugs that they do need to sort out, and there's only so much I can do. Now, the pricing of this is £55 on Computer Orbit, and if you are looking for this particular cooler, I will leave links down below for Computer Orbit and other places, so you guys can, you know, give a kickback to the channel for me bringing you the video. I do like the cooler. I think it performs well. Yeah, it's not as good as the Frost Tower, but then the Frost Tower has 7 heat pipes, and it's ginormous. That's a big, big cooler. So, yeah. Look, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe. I've got loads of stuff coming. I am getting stuff from Lee & Lee. They're on their way. I've got a mini PC here. It's a tiny little thing. I've got another cooler here from Thermalright. I've got B-Quad stuff here. Deep Cool. I've got tons of stuff coming, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and week ahead of you. This is Rich for WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.